and result in a less than a 100% yield. Oh, now technically yes, that does exist. It's not such a big deal in the base game. I think there are more calamities that can befall you with seasons. I don't know that we'll see it. Let's pull up the main map and have a look. So you will see there's lots of pink splotches all the way around the map, and those are patches of weeds which, if you don't deal with, will reduce the amount of crop you're producing. Now it's this one. So these are my 2 fields I've planted. They're good, and I can't see anywhere where germination's failed. This has just been planted, so until it turns green, there is the potential we will get some germination failed spots on them. I don't know that anyone else is planting right now. No, none of the other fields on the map are planted, so we'll have to check back with that later. But germination failed is a problem. It can be it's never going to be 100% problem, but it is a problem, and does result in loss of income because part of your field didn't grow. Drought is a problem. You can end up with some of your field not growing and patches of ground where there is no crop to harvest. Now I believe tractor, yeah, I mean I have seen suggested where tractors break down, equipment breaks down, and for the most part, if you don't take care of your equipment, I mean, yeah, the penalty is it gets slower and slower. I think in 17 with seasons, the deal was that your tractor would break down in the middle of the field, and you would then have to get a maintenance shop out to the field to repair the tractor, or limp it back home. Supposedly there are storms that can flatten a crop. No, I haven't seen that. And that's part of the seasons logic, where you can end up with bad weather destroying your crop. However, with seasons, especially a very wet geo, you can end up, and I have done for the last 2 years on Lawfolds, I've ended up with a very hectic harvest season because so much of it is rain, and you can't harvest while the ground's wet. But it's more than just the base game where if it's raining you can't harvest, but as soon as it stops raining you can harvest. With seasons it takes time for the ground to dry out, and until the crops have dried you can't harvest them. Now I would like to see some variation on that, because say potatoes and beets, it doesn't matter if they're wet, because what you're doing is you're shoveling them out of the ground and sending them through a sort of a mesh to shake all the dirt off. But if you harvest wheat or corn, it's going to get stuck in your harvester, clog it up and potentially set it on fire. So you don't harvest when the crop's wet, and there is a big risk of you not making money. The idea with seasons is all of the above. There are more risks it does make it more structured. So we're currently in the ground preparation and seeding period of seasons on this playthrough. But there is the added realism of everything in its season, everything in its place. You have to do things in sequence, or you don't end up with a good yield. And there is more risk of calamity in seasons than there is in the base game. I think that's why seasons gave us one of the reasons why seasons gave us 3 stages of fertilization, whereas the base game only gives us 2 this time around. And that's because you can lose significant amounts of your crop if you're really unlucky. I mean, weeds is not unlucky. Weeds is just you not taking care of the weeds. You can always eliminate weeds. There's nothing that you can mitigate germination failures by making sure that the ground's warm enough for the seed that you're planting. But just because it's warm enough right now during the sunlight hours doesn't mean it's going to be warm enough overnight. Temperatures could drop and then you lose some, but make sure that the ground is warm enough, and you shouldn't have much, if any, germination failures. The one thing you can't control is drought conditions. If there's no rain, you're going to lose crop. And that's just the luck of the draw. There's nothing you can do about it. And then if it rains too much during fall, you can't harvest all your crop, or you're harvesting through midnight because it rained all day. And Lawfolds on Saturday, we were running day 5 summer on a 6-day season, and we're wanting to harvest, I think, about 7 fields on that one day, because day 6 summer it's going to rain, day 1 fall it's going to rain. Now I could get lucky and it could rain from 2 o'clock in the afternoon and on the last day of summer through to 5 o'clock in the morning on the first day of fall, in which case I will have the majority of day 6, so the last day of summer, to harvest, and probably after midday I'll be able to do more harvesting in fall, day 1. But if I'm unlucky with when it rains, I could feasibly lose 2 days there and all of day 3 fall, because it rained too late on day 2 for the ground or the crops to dry on day 3. And if the thing is, calamities are things which should affect your costs or your income, since that's really what Farming Simulator is all about, is it's making money. And that's each to everyone else, each to your own choices. I mean, some people do not like seasons and do not play with seasons. And I really don't want to see, much as I like to play with seasons, but I don't want to see Farm Sim 21 come along, where seasons is mandatory and you can't turn it off. Although I think I would like to see it available in the game where it's a setting that you can turn on or off, because that way people on consoles don't have to wait 18 months before they can play with seasons on a game that's only available, only current for 24 months. How are we doing here? Let's keep going. Oops. Contract, we're at 92%, so we're nearly done. And I do like that they divorced the economy difficulty from the starting setup. Because when they released FarmSim 19, New Farmer was on easy economy, so everything was more valuable. Seeds were cheaper, gas was cheaper. Farm Manager was medium economy, so you got less money for your seed sell and your crop sell, and your seeds were more expensive, and fertilizer, your consumables, should I say, were more expensive. And then Start From Scratch was hard economy. But I think it was pretty much the first patch. They divorced them from the two settings from each other, so you can play Farm Manager with an easy economy, a medium economy, or a hard economy. You can pay Start From Scratch with a hard economy or an easy economy. It's it provides a little more flexibility. Start From Scratch is a hard start, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a hard playthrough. I don't with this playthrough, I don't start with a lot of money. I can't afford a lot of land. I can't afford a lot of equipment. But that doesn't mean that my income should be sorely limited because I'm stuck with a hard economy as well. I mean, sometimes you want to play with that challenge, but other times you want to introduce the challenge a little bit more slowly. My steering wheel back. There we go. I think now every start starts you on medium economy. So you can adjust that if you feel you're not making enough money, or you're making too much, or you want the challenge of not making as much. Lawfolds I'm actually playing on hard difficulty, but I would say it's not a classic FarmSim 17 hard difficulty, because the map maker adjusted the economy within his map so that you make more money anyway on all of the difficulty levels. So I'm playing on hard difficulty, but I'm still raking in tons of cash because of the number of fields I have and the money making potential of all of them. And the other, with the base game, there is no seasons, so your limit is how quickly can you turn over a field. Once I've harvested the field, I want to turn it over and get seed back in the field as quickly as possible. Because that's affecting my ongoing money making potential. And it's how quickly I can do that turnaround. Once the seed's in the ground, okay, I've got to fertilize it a few times. But there is a longer window to do that. With seasons, your crops don't, you don't end up with your crops withering quite so quickly. But you do have a definitive, you have a much bigger window to prepare your fields. You have a much bigger window to plant, to fertilize. And so you're generally not, and you can't plant more than one crop a year. So with that, it's really then down to, do I have enough equipment to work all of the fields I have, and can I hire the workers to do what I don't have time to do personally. Okay, I completely missed the message, but we did finish that. Okay, so now we're into sowing some of these fields. That's kind of small too. 122. That's maybe as big as this one for all I know. Okay, we're going to head back to the barn. Oh, excuse me. I need to go and get myself a drink. So I'm going to be back in a sec. Oh. So yeah, part of the deal here is I've done everything I need to do with my fields for the next 3 days, potentially. But, so I've now got time to make money doing other things that are not directly involved with agriculture in my fields. And in the base game, that's something you have less ability to do, because you're always, your fields are always churning. You're always trying to make more money. So you're harvesting your crops, you're selling your crops, you're planting new crops, and the faster you can do that, the more money you're going to make. So finding time to do contracts is a little bit more challenging. Finding time to do contracts when you're playing with seasons is there's always, you're always going to have some time during the year to do that. back up to 30,000 money. It's a cloudy day. Not so much. Okay, where's my yard? There. Okay, here we are again. So, chickens are doing fine. Close to the wall. Okay, we'll go and find another contract to do. This time we will use borrowed equipment. There's a lot of withered fields on this map, which I assume aren't capable of supporting 67. Actually, 67. Let's do that one. So, something a little bit different. A tractor I have, to my knowledge, never driven in Farm Sim any. So, how do we get to 67? Oh, it's down the road. Oh, 10 left by my yard. The other side of 66. Seems fair. So, where's my yard? Right there. Not a easy piece of equipment to get around here. Considering its length and bulk. Dude, don't walk in the road. Oh, recycling centre. Just left the town. Lots of chopped up bits of wood around here too. 67, that will be coming up on the left. Right there. So this shouldn't take quite as long as the last one did. The question is did they give me the right seems to be doing okay. Never seen a stair commercial. I've seen a lot of John Deere and Case IH commercials. Smaller tractor, once again, John Deere and New Holland for the smaller sort of sub 50 horsepower tractors. Big tractors, even on YouTube, big tractors are all John Deere and Case around here. There we go, one pass. I learnt the lesson with my tractor. If I was going to be doing this with my own equipment, we'd have wide tyres and wheel weights and a weight on the front. It's very easy to lose a lot of traction doing these sorts of jobs on the fields. Definitely doesn't seem to be having a lot of problems. Oops. That's not a particularly straight cut. That looks potatoes. I think that's a potato crop. I'll probably have to do two headlands back here.